welcome back. So today I wanted to quickly talk about Destiny 2, and we've had some information coming to light as of the marketing material that was released onto the internet, and it's very interesting to see some of this information about it. Now, we saw from the marketing material that we had 3 Guardians, no helmets, carrying some shotguns, so it looks very, very interesting. Now, the information that did come out from this, that was there's definitely going to be released in September at this point in time, and looks around September 8th for Europe, which is probably going to be in line with maybe a split release of the game. We may see the US get it first and Europe releasing later. I'm hoping for a worldwide release, but again, they may be concerned about how much network traffic or strain it'll put on the servers themselves, so they may go for this split release to try and relieve some of that pressure. Of course, being Australia, we fall under the European time frame, so again, we'll get it later in the US if that becomes a reality and this split happens. So we also found out some more information that they're hoping to expand it out so that the worlds themselves have towns, outposts, quests, and expands the game out more comparatively to what we see in the current version of Destiny. So that'd be a really good thing to see this expansion and more interaction. I hope that the towns and the outposts are interesting and not just potentially to somewhere you go to a quest person and just do something. I want to see a bit of interaction in the game and get a little bit more of what's going on in the world of Destiny itself. The bad point we saw was PS exclusive for coming back. To what extent, we don't know at this point in time. I was really hoping at this point in time they would get away from this exclusive titles and exclusive bits and pieces being part of the game. But obviously not. Sony's obviously again renegotiated something with Bungie. It's sad to see, but hopefully it's not going to be as bad as it currently is. I mean, a year between actual releases of PS4 to say to Xbox itself is just a ridiculous amount of time. I can understand a month, maybe 2 months, but a year is just absolutely ridiculous, and I don't think people need to really hold out for that amount of time. The other interesting thing is, with it coming out on Xbox too, is I wonder if we'll have the ability to play anywhere. Now, this again confined down to only Windows 10 version for PC, but it'd be very interesting to see if they've done something similar to what they've done with Gears of War 4, where PC players and Xbox players can actually play together. That'd be a really good thing if they do something like that, because it actually brings the community together a little bit more. Of course, we want to see the 60 frames per second, definitely for the PC version, but we'd definitely like to see that also for the console versions. Dedicated servers, we really hope, actually, if it doesn't come with dedicated servers, I think this is going to be something that is a real problem for a lot of players, because at this point in time we need dedicated servers. There's no use continuing on with the current peer-to-peer network, and I think that'd be really silly if they didn't go down this track and go down dedicated servers. But my primary concern, especially with the PC version at this point in time, is I hope that when they do release it, they release it with an effective anti-cheat system. Now, as we know with any game, the consoles are very locked down, so cheating is a very difficult thing to do, unless you can somehow bypass the actual console itself. But on PC, this can be very rampant, unfortunately, with hackers and people who just like to cheat in some way, shape or form. So they need to create this very strong anti-cheat system. Now, we don't want to repeat it like we saw with The Division when it came out, where the PC version anti-cheat was basically very little or non-existent. If they release a game like that, that's going to cause a lot of problems in regards to the game. Now, I'm not just talking from the PvP side, I'm also talking about the PvE side. You know, people could potentially create scripts or create systems to kill bosses within seconds, and therefore bypass a lot of the things that we see within the game. So it's something that they have to really work on and make sure is in place so that it is something that is really effective. If they don't have something like that, they're probably better delaying it than they are actually releasing the game. So we don't want a repeat of what we saw with The Division. We also got a little bit of information about the beta itself, and that it's probably going to be released around June and July. Now, there's also the talk that, again, we may see early access for the beta for PlayStation 4, whether this is through pre-ordering or whether it's just generally because it's a PlayStation title. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it will also come out for the PC version, because that's something I'm definitely interested in playing and seeing. But we definitely need to see more backstory in the game itself. We need to find out more about the lore, more about the world itself, and the different planets and the characters themselves. So I'm hoping that they'll expand the actual universe coming into Destiny 2. There's a lot of information about different characters within the game that we know very little about, and definitely needs to be opened up. So I was hoping that it will be sort of this way of they can bring in more information about the various different characters or different places within the game itself with each expansion itself. So I'm hoping we'll see a lot more of that. But again, there is a lot of information that we don't know about, and I suspect that a lot of that information will come out during E3. So a lot of us are waiting on with bated breath to find out what's going to be included in Destiny 2, what the information we're going to find out, and it's going to be a long wait, but definitely a worthwhile one. But while we all wait, we still have the Age of Triumph, and we're going to be playing the living daylights out of that at the moment. It's definitely great to see all the old content come back and give us an opportunity to keep our interest there and be able to take that time until the build up of Destiny 2. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, and I thank you very much for taking the time to watch my video, and I will talk to you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.